gentlemen, let's go racing here at Knoxville.
Only the best go 3 abreast.
It is show time at Williams Grove Speedway.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here at Eldora Speedway, it's showtime!
Often imitated, never duplicated, the greatest show on dirt, the world of outlaws.
It's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy, because, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
Set to do battle for 30 laps. The green flag is waving.
Hello again, it's MRN's Wing Nation presented by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength. Erin and Steve Post, what do we say? It's our favorite time of the week, and this is our favorite week of the year.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, we are amped up. We are so excited. We're glad you joined us as we are set. It is Knoxville week. Obviously, if you're tuned in and a sprint car fan, you know it's Knoxville week. If you've somewhere landed on this and you're not a sprint car fan, you need to become one in a hurry and just tune into Knoxville and you will. It is the biggest race of the year, the biggest week of the year, the biggest party of the year, and the most fun that all of us will have all year long. We can't wait to get out there, and we are so excited. Already having a good time is Clint Garner, and we will have him and then the one orchestrating the party.
Yep.
Kendra Jacobs. She will join us, or the one keeping us within the rails.
Yes, and doing an amazing job.
Yes, absolutely amazing. So great stuff. We'll talk to Kendra in just a little bit. Erin Evernham and myself just sitting here. We go to the airport tomorrow morning, and we fly out there, and it's Christmas Eve.
It really is. And it's funny to me because having raced in it a few times, I thought the anticipation couldn't get any better than when you're a part of it, driving in it. But I swear it still grows every year. Like now, I am so excited to get back there and see everybody and do our show and just be a part of the whole atmosphere.
It's a family reunion.
Yep.
It's a big party. It's great racing. It's just it's heroes. It's a good story.
Yep.
It's a heartbreaking story, and it'll all happen in the next 4 days.
I like how you put the party before the race. I like that.
Well, there is a race that happens out there. There is a race that happens out there, but that happens 3 or 4 hours a day. The party goes 24 hours a day.
This is true. And our motorhome is parked not far from the party, so I am well aware.
Oh boy,
yeah.
batten down the hatches.
You're not kidding.
Indeed. Going to be great, that's for sure. Let's take a look at our Classic Ink screen printing and embroidery hot topics. And those hot topics are winners so far because I think this is a fascinating Knoxville Nationals. And when we preview it a little bit later on, I want to talk about it. But when we look at our winners, you go out there for the 360 Nationals, and 2 410 guys from Pennsylvania won the prelim nights.
Yep.
With Tim Schaefer and Greg Hodnett. Of course, that got everyone in the Keystone State crowing, screaming, beating on their chest, hooting and hollering. I just find it fascinating that 2 410, 2 guys that are real, Hodnett we know runs some 360 races with URC, but not
considering his year that he's had too. I mean,
exactly.
Great story.
But when it came time for the big money on the line, it was Clint Garner. We're going to talk to Clint. This is just
so
a great
happy
story.
for him.
But since then, the Cappy Classic. I am telling you, watching the highlights and listening to the call of that race, Brownie was rolling that night. I mean, when you drive around Joey Saldana, Kerry Madsen, Greg Hodnett at Knoxville, drive around them. I'm not talking about messed around with them, slid them 16 times, and ended up in front of it at the end.
Yeah, and got the right cautions or any of that stuff.
No, I mean drive around them.
Yeah, exactly.
Brownie was rolling, and then Oskaloosa. Last night, this sounded incredible. I mean, it sounded great. What a race.
Yeah. I think that, every year we talk about there's a number of people that could contend for the Nationals win, but Donnie's obviously dominated.
Sure.
But I feel like this year, even more so than past years, like, you can't count out Jason Johnson. Look what he did last year. But now Shane Stewart, Brian Brown, T-Mac last weekend, like there's a number of characters that could easily put themselves in position.
It's amazing. It really is. It's all part of what is going to be a great week and a great time. As we mentioned, Clint Garner, he won the 360 Nationals. We'll talk to him, and those are the Classic Ink screen printing and embroidery hot topics. Great t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, hot towels, hats, and more. Corporate events, other sports, schools, whatever you need, they've got it. You can find out more at www.classicinkusa.com. That's classicinkusa.com. Another part of Knoxville, t-shirts.
Oh, yeah.
I know Classic Ink's designed some new stuff for Brownie. I can't wait to see even the t-shirts out there. Oh, my God. We even love the t-shirts. How about that? It is big. It's the Knoxville Nationals week. And when we return, we will talk to the winner of the 360 Nationals, Clint Garner. He joins us next.
Hi, I'm Craig Kinsler, and you're listening to Wing Nation on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
Classic Ink USA Screen Printing and Embroidery is constantly testing the limits of custom racewear and specialized embroidery. Headquartered in Western Pennsylvania, Classic Ink holds the highest standard, maximizing your return as well as the ultimate customer satisfaction. From track swag fan wear to quick crew wear, Classic Ink has you covered. Their dedicated staff and designers will keep your race team and fans looking sharp. Contact Classic Ink today and get your team ahead of the competition. www.classicinkusa.com. That's Classic Ink, at the track and on your back.
If you or your family love the freedom of swimming any time of year, if you love sharing good times and making great memories, or if you want one of the best total body workouts ever, then it's time to discover the 3 C's of your very own endless pool. The first C is convenience. Imagine swimming year-round in your own private swimming pool, installed indoors or out, just steps away. The second C is comfort. With sculpted spa seats and your own adjustable temperature, you can easily escape the stress of your day. And the third C is cost. Your endless pool is an affordable luxury at a fraction of the cost of a regular pool. And here's a bonus C, choice. Because when you call for your free Endless Pool Idea Kit, you'll receive information on our full line of pools to suit your budget and location.
Call now for free information. 800-283-8089. 800-283-8089.
Hi, I'm Dale Blaney, and you're listening to Wing Nation on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
Welcome back. It is MRN's Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength. Before the break, we're all just amped up about Knoxville. We've talked about heartbreaking stories and heartwarming stories, and man, I'm telling you, it doesn't get any better than Saturday night, the 360 Nationals. A family that works all week long, hauls the car from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, down to Knoxville, and stomps everyone. Picks up the win and scores the victory. And joining us is the driver of that car, Clint Garner's on the line. Hello, Clint. Welcome to Wing Nation.
Hey, how are you guys?
We are doing fantastic. What's life been like the last 2.5 days, Clint?
It's been a good time. We've had a lot of attention brought our way because of what happened, and you know, it's definitely a big moment in my racing career, or in my life, actually.
Clint, you said in Victory Lane that there was some win it or wear it moments. Was there a point during the race that you knew you had it? Like, I feel like sometimes when you have a great car, you get in the zone and it just happens. But was there a moment that you just felt like, this is it, I'm not giving this up?
Yes, the car did feel really good, and when I was out front leading the race, I mean, it did. It almost felt like a Saturday night. Everything was clicking, and even when I made mistakes, it came back together. I know all these guys are making mistakes out here, so it's just who can fix their mistakes quickest. So it was really just happening good for me. I made several mistakes, and it just immediately the car was back under me and getting traction and driving away. I drove maybe a little harder than I normally would, just because I put so much emphasis on not tearing the car up and not, making mistakes. But man, I wanted to win that race so bad, and I know when the money's on the line, everybody's running so hard, So I probably drove a little over my head a couple different times, just to make sure that the speed was there and kind of just risking it a little bit to see if I could win that race.
Clint, you mentioned drove it like it was another Saturday night. You've had a lot of success at Knoxville. You've won, I think this is the 33rd time you've been to Victory Lane there in the 360, a couple of 410 wins. So you certainly know your way about it. But when you look at the 3 days out there, your prelim night and everything else, how tough is it to stay focused just like a Saturday night and not get wrapped up into how big it is?
It's really tough because all the guys are there, all the cars, the crews, and everybody that's never there, So just the drama of everything is just all over you, and you can't, and then once you do go quick time, or once you do, become high point car, I mean, everybody's come slapping you on the back and kind of just emphasizing what's happened, so to ignore it and act like it's not bothering you is almost impossible. I mean, I did my best, but it's just a weird feeling that, I can't hardly even explain.
Clint, you said after qualifying that there were a lot of questions flying and you made some changes. Did you make some significant changes that changed the car a lot from time trials?
There was 2 shock changes, I believe, and some ride height changes. I begged them to make sure that I won hot laps. I went out there. I mean, they kind of just told me not to worry about it, and you don't need to win hot laps, which of course I know that. But then when I come in and I'm 12th quick out of hot laps, then it's like, all right, now where do we go? You know, you're not even close on the stopwatch, and so my brother does a great job tuning on the car, and every year when we come to the Nationals, Robert Hubbard comes up here from Memphis and hangs out with us and lends a hand. I mean, he's been all over the country and raced with a bunch of good cars, so we had a wrench in the pits with us that's a national caliber mechanic, so I had that confidence with me. And the engine that we run, Al Parker's engine out of Newton here in Iowa, right about just north of Knoxville, is a great engine, and I had all the confidence in the engine. I mean, just everything's kind of fallen in place, so I did have a lot of confidence going into the race, but I did want to win hot laps too.
I'm sure, yeah. Anytime you can do that, that's for sure. We're chatting with Clint Garner here, the winner of the 360 Nationals at Knoxville. Clint, we make so much of the big guys, and of course they're all focused on Knoxville this week along the way. And you had a couple really big, well-funded, well-heeled professional race teams chasing you around that racetrack. Describe your race team and describe how your family operation works. Just as you guys do your normal thing during the week and then go race on the weekends.
Well, in the last 8 years or something, I've won 7 championships in the 360 class, and I did it on used chassis. The car that I started this season with, I think was 7 years old and had won, 15 races in it. And, last year I put that same car on the front row of the Nationals. When I showed up last year to the Nationals, here I am sitting in a car that's 5, 6 years old, and I had to repaint the body, but I didn't even replace the body. So it's just a small, keep it simple. I don't do anything. I don't fall into none of the new cool guy break. I don't change nothing. I run the $100 shocks. I just try to keep it as simple as I can. The drive lines, I don't run any of the new fancy drive lines. So what I just won the 360 Nationals in was the most simple sprint car that money can buy. It's like a 1985 copy. I don't. You could take my setup basically right out of the Stevie Smith chassis setup book. I mean, that's really all it takes to do what I'm doing. I mean, I don't know if you can keep up with the 410 cars, night in, night out around the country, but on a local level, to make it any more confusing than that, you're really just making it hard for yourself.
That's awesome. That is truly incredible. Clint, how long did the celebration go on for? I saw pictures of your trailer hours after the race with a huge crowd around it. What was that celebration like for you?
It was fun. I mean, I have a lot of people that come all the way from Sioux Falls with me weekly, but over the years, just spending the time that we've spent in Knoxville, some of the people they're cheering for their local favorites, but when it comes down to the Nationals, I mean, they weren't too picky about it. I mean, I instantly became their favorite, just because everybody's pulling for the underdog and wanting, one of the local cars to win that race, So there was a lot of Knoxville, area fans that came around and introduced themselves and said, hey, I'm a Joe Beaver fan, have been forever, but man, tonight was your night and we're cheering for you. So I mean, there was a lot of cool, people that I got to meet that night, and I just tried to make sure that I was available, the whole time, so that everybody could see, how happy we were to be a part of it, and that we're not too good to run away and act like it's, all for ourselves. I mean, that was for everybody.
Man, oh man, dude, that is some good stuff. We are right up against the break, but I have a question. Is there one thing, what I really noticed, what really struck out to me is after the race, listening to Brian Brown and Wayne Johnson talking about you. To me, that's when you hear that from someone, it wasn't the cursory congratulations to them. There was a lot of talk about you. One of them talked about your family and everything else. Has there been one person or one thing since that win that just jumps out at you and is just like, man, that's the cool stuff right there? Beyond it all, of course.
Well, there was several things that happened. I mean, those 2 interviews from Brownie and Wayne both were super cool. I mean, those guys are friends, and we've been racing each other for a long time, and they've never ever showed that kind of affection, or however you want to say it. We race against each other, and we shake hands and say hi to each other when we walk by, but we're definitely not going to dinner together. But to hear that come out of their mouth, that was pretty cool. Sammy Swindell was in my pit, all night long. And after the races, he stood there forever. There was a lot of people that were like, man, Sammy's here. Well, they don't know. Sammy and I are friends, and anytime he's at the racetrack, whether he's racing or not, he usually makes a trip by the trailer and hangs out for a little bit. But that night, he was there all night long, pretty much till the very end. And the next day I woke up and Doug Wolfgang had texted me, and wanted to let me know that, he was proud of me. And, there's a lot of people, Tim Schaefer, Jason Sides, all the guys that I've worked with and been around on the road. I parked my car and went out traveling a little bit in the early 2000s and got to know several of those guys. And almost all of them have reached out some way or another and just said, way to go, congratulations. So it means a lot just to feel the compassion that, they do remember who you are, and they remember how it feels to run around with a single car and, a family team.
Indeed they do, and you certainly made everyone that does that proud and gave everyone that does that hope for the future for every time they roll in the pit area. Clint, congratulations. Thanks for the time today.
Thank you, guys.
How about that, Clint Garner? Wake up on Sunday morning and Doug Wolfgang texts you. That's pretty cool right there.
Gosh, it was so neat to hear. I know we talk about it a lot, but the passion, the humbleness. Like, he was so appreciative and genuinely happy and wanted to make sure every fan got a chance to talk to him. That was really cool. Knoxville
is all about great stories and the one kind of pulling it all together. Kendra Jacobs, she joins us next.
I'm Danny Holkraver, and you're listening to Wing Nation on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
Want to race against Tony Stewart? You can at the 5th Annual Weld Racing Go-Kart Spectacular. 1 o'clock Wednesday, August 9th at Slideways Karting Center in Knoxville, Iowa. Join Stewart, NASCAR drivers Kyle Larson and Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Kamikaze Chris Day from TV Street Outlaws, and Pirelli World Challenge driver Shea Holbrook. Registration is open to only 50 racers at least 16 years old with an entry donation of $400 per person. You'll receive an event t-shirt and goodie bag containing Weld Racing and autographed Tony Stewart merchandise. Log on to TonyStewartFoundation.org for your spot. Donations benefit the Tony Stewart Foundation's initiative Team One Cure. See you at Slideways.
Hi, this is Joey Meyer, championship spotter, adequate pilot, and co-host of MRN Motorsports Monday, presented by Outback Steakhouse. Join Woody Kane and I every Monday at noon on MRN.com as we debate the biggest stories in NASCAR.
Back for a year again is Kyle Petty. I always laugh when we talk about a race car driver designing a race car track. Let me do it. Oh, there it was. I just designed one. Woo, I made a circle.
Log in every Monday at noon or anytime on demand at MRN.com for MRN Motorsports Monday, presented by Outback Steakhouse.
Live sports are the one true reality entertainment, where a single dramatic moment can become timeless. In NASCAR, Motor Racing Network's live broadcasts elevates your senses to the sights, sounds, and struggles taking place on the racetrack.
Danica Patrick to the front of the field at Talladega. They are side by side behind her. Jimmy Johnson.
The power of radio to the imagination of the listener. Tune in to the Motor Racing Network. Visit MRN.com for an affiliate list in your local area.
Hi, I'm Craig Kinzer, and you're listening to Wing Nation on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
Thank you, Craig. Welcome back. It is a great time we're having here on MRN's Wing Nation. We appreciate Clint Garner joining us all. You know, the Knoxville weekend, the Knoxville experience is all-encompassing. And we talk about the here and now. We talk about the present. We talk about anything. But one of your favorite spots and my favorite spots is the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum, turn number 2. I know y'all see you there. I'll be there hanging out.
The new exhibition
The new exhibition, exactly, with Sammy Swindell. It is so great, and the Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum is all part of what makes Knoxville an absolutely amazing place. What also makes it part of an amazing place is our original co-host. So those of you new to Wing Nation maybe don't know that Kendra Jacobs used to sit right here alongside of me each week doing it. She's graduated. We are so proud of our graduate, Kendra, who now runs things out at the Knoxville Raceway and joins us on the hotline. Hello, Kendra. How are you?
I am so good. How are you guys?
We will be so good tomorrow at this time. We are still pretty good. We're Christmas Eve good, Kendra. We're Christmas Eve good. You're in the middle. You're like in the middle of this 10-day. You're just about wrapping up lunch. Now you're ready to go in for leftovers or getting ready for lunch or something. Man, it's got to be great. How have things been and how are things looking?
It is so good. I mean, we were really just talking about it in the office this morning about the excitement level is really high already, and it's Tuesday. Yeah. And we kind of have noticed that since the start of 360 Nationals. You know, that race doesn't start until Thursday, And all of our vendors were here and set up, and the camping area was almost full by Tuesday of last week. So it just seems like people are a little more anxious this year. They're getting here earlier. They're ready to go earlier. There's a lot of people out mingling around already on Tuesday of this week. So I feel like it's already started. I'm about 7 days in now, and it's been awesome, and I still have a voice.
Yes. Oh, I was thinking that.
Everything is good.
It's always sketchy to dial Kendra up on race week because it's
by Saturday we'll see.
By Saturday, exactly. We'll see. That's for sure.
Yeah, Saturday I don't think I'll have one, but so far right now it's good.
Kendra, the racing out there has been fabulous the last week or so, and I know I've seen you post a number of times about just the competition level. What do you think's creating that? Is it the competition level? Is it track prep? Like, what is making the racing seem better and better every year there?
I mean, I think right now the track prep. I mean, the Duncan family. We are so lucky to have them here, and they're incredible. They have done such a good job with the surface. Really wide track every night, lots of passing. It's just been perfect. And really, we've been blessed by good weather. I've never been to the Nationals where the highs are in the low 70s. And we've had this perfect weather conditions. No rain so far, knock on wood. No high winds, no super humidity. So the track prep has just been this perfectly laid out track. And the drivers have actually come to us and said, man, if you can keep the track like that for all 4 days next week, we're going to have some great racing. And I think that's really helped. And I also think when you get guys like Brian Brown starting back in 8th, 10th position, you watch them throughout the night. And those guys know this racetrack, and they know how to get around it. And watching them come through the field, and you kind of want to rule them out, right? You're like, anybody that's beyond the third row, it's going to be hard to win this. He almost won the 360 Nationals, and of course came up through and won the Cappy. It's just been incredible. These guys are on their game, and our locals are definitely on it this year. So it's been fun to watch. I think the fans have definitely gotten their money's worth. And if it stays like that for these next 4 nights, it's going to be a great week here.
One for the ages, no doubt. Now, we talk a lot about the racing and the racetrack, and folks, we've been talking about this before. If you want to find out about the racing, just dial up last year's race, just dial up any of the 360 Nationals, just dial up the Cappy Classic. The racing is fantastic, as Erin noted. But Kendra, what kind of fun stuff do we have off the track this year for folks to do when we're not racing, other than that little establishment that I've heard about called Dingus? Are there other things going on, or is it just racing and Dingus?
No, I mean, our big thing out here is this is not just a race, it's an event. And we try to have entertainment for the fans all the time. And it's getting to the point now where they have multiple options of entertainment all the time. So it kicks off tonight with the Queen's Contest, Dyer Hudson at 7 o'clock. Right after that is the first Driven to Save Lives in honor of Brian Clausen event over at Dingus. That's a really fun one with Tim Clausen and Ricky Stenhouse bartending all night and the dunk tank outside. Then tomorrow we roll right into you guys at 6 o'clock. I mean, that's kind of the official kickoff of the racing each night is you guys on stage right there behind the ticket office. I'm staring right now at the Iowa beer bus. So that's set up right next to you. We've got post-race concerts Thursday, Friday, Saturday, pre-race concert Friday, and, of course, Pat Cooper's pre-race concert Saturday. And this year, Tony Stewart Racing is sponsoring the fan finale party, which is in the barn off of 3 and 4. It starts at 2 a.m. It is an awesome party. Pat Cooper's back in concert right there in the barn, and it lasts till sunup. So there's a ton of stuff going on. Tony Stewart has 2 charity events. There's a Steve King Foundation charity event here at the track. Driven to Save Lives has another event on Saturday. We have an autograph session for all the drivers locked in on Friday. The drivers meeting on Saturday is one of my favorite events, and that's open to the public. Basically, all the top 21 drivers, the 20 that are locked in, and of course, the 20 that are locked in, plus the winner of the Speed Sport Challenge. And Doug Clark, John McCoy, and they go through all the rules for the night, how the red flag's going to be policed, and it's a pretty interesting meeting, and I think the fans really enjoyed being a part of that last year. So lots and lots and lots going on, and all of that's on the KnoxvilleRaceway.com website. So if you want to get on there and check it out, that's where everything is.
That is where everything is, and everything is at the famed Marion County Fairgrounds. Kendra, I can't wait to get out there personally and give you a hug, but then I can't wait to see what all you got planned for everybody out there. We're going to do Wing Nation, of course, which is part of it, but so much fun stuff. Words cannot describe, there's no word to describe how proud we are of you and how happy we are of you, and can't wait to see you tomorrow, and can't wait to see all of our friends, the Sprint Car fans, all week long. Thanks for the time here today.
Yeah, thank you guys. I know they're waiting on you, so when you get here, you'll get a very warm reception.
Oh, that's great. That's great. We appreciate it. Thanks again, Kendra.
Thanks, guys. See you tomorrow.
You got it. Oh, see you tomorrow.
I love it. I love
it. Oh, man. She said, see you tomorrow. Oh, that's fantastic. We'll be back to talk more about Knoxville in just a moment.
Find Wing Nation on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, and in the MRN.com Media Center. The National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum's newest feature exhibit is our Salute to Champion Sammy Swindell, June 9th through October 15th, at the only museum in the world solely dedicated to sprint car racing, the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville, Iowa. Stop in and check out 8 of Sammy's original race cars and see his trophies, uniforms, and more as you learn about his outstanding career. The Salute to Champion Sammy Swindell is only this season at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville.
Only the best go 3 abreast, and they're coming to a track near you in 2017. No matter where you're at, the American Sprint Car Series is near you. From the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour, presented by the Mad TV Motorsports Network, to any of the 7 ASCS regional tours, there's over 150 nights of racing to choose from in 2017. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for updates. Listen live on RacingBoys.com and get the full rundown at ASCSRacing.com.
It's time to start pouring concrete, and the Housby Mixer System is ready for the job. The Housby Mixer System was created specifically with the driver in mind. All controls and specs are completely customizable to your operations. Our durable, driver-friendly mixer can be mounted on all truck types, and our expert support is second to none. On-site and live phone support is just a phone call away. For more information, visit Housby.com. Housby, an official sponsor of NASCAR for over 40 years.
This is Tony Stewart. You're listening to Winged Nation on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
Welcome back. It is MRN's Wing Nation here, presented by Hercules Tires, right on our strength. We talked a little bit about the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame. We always talk about birthdays. Today's birthday, how about this? Terry Gray, Tony Bruce Jr., and Bill Baylog. Thursday, Donnie Schott's birthday. Saturday, Linton Jeffrey and Parnelli Jones. Okay, but on Friday, Jack Elam. J&J Chassis is a 2009 inductee into the Sprint Car Hall of Fame. A fascinating story on how he got together, and you actually know Jack.
Yeah, I ran J&J Chassis for a long time, but him and Bonnie, his wife Bonnie, they're like staples in the sprint car world. You know, even times where you changed manufacturers and you felt like you were like cheating on them or whatever, they always have stayed close. They're incredible people. I know that the Hall of Fame has honored them a number of years with their Manufacturers Award. They're just a great addition to the sprint car world.
They formed J&J Chassis in 1972. At that time, it was drivers like Sammy Swindell, Bubby Jones, Ricky and Clarence Hood, Ron Schumann, Bobby Davis Jr., mechanic Kenny Woodruff were all early believers. Current believers, Clint Garner, who we just talked to, Morgan Turpin, who we've talked about a lot this year, that guy Sam Haferteep Jr., and Donnie Schatz is a believer as well. So, and you can certainly find out more about Jack Elam and everybody at the Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum, turn number 2, and Shane Carson said to tell everyone there's autograph sessions every hour out there.
I'll be signing on Thursday at 4 o'clock.
Thursday at
with
4.
Harley White. Yep.
All right, you and Harley White going to be signing. Yeah, Shane Carson has got a list of autographs. Folks, you could just camp at the Sprint Car Hall of Fame and see everybody. Erin, you mentioned it. I want to mention this event, and then we'll talk just a little bit. Tomorrow, the 5th Annual Racing Go-Kart Spectacular, Slideways Karting Center. You can race against Kyle Larson, Ricky Stenhouse, Tony Stewart, the Tony Stewart Foundation. That's a fun event. That's a good one. You talked about this at the top of the show. So many drivers hitting their stride. Donnie Schatz. Brian Brown won the Cappy Classic and recent Knoxville wins. You mentioned Terry McCarl. David Gravel fast everywhere. Don't know where Hodnett found the speed. He left it at the state line at Pennsylvania because he found it in Iowa. Darren Pittman, he's been up front a lot lately. Shane Stewart won at Oski. Tim Schaefer fast everywhere. Brad Sweet. It's absolutely amazing, and it is going to play out on Saturday night with the 57th Annual 5-Hour Energy Knoxville Nationals presented by Casey's General Store. Thanks to Clint Garner and to Kendra Jacobs. More important than that, Thank you for
You've
joining
been
us here
listening
today.
to Winged Nation, presented by Hercules Tire, right on our strength. You can also find Winged Nation on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, and in the MRN.com Media Center. Winged Nation is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.